The Oklahoma City Thunder came into the playoffs as the favorite to win it all, and they're still the favorite heading into the conference finals. They're coming off a 7-game series against the Denver Nuggets and just a few days removed from a Game 7 being pushed to the brink. Is this a letdown spot for the Oklahoma City Thunder? Well, we're going to talk about it, but before we do, I got to tell you about a promotion we have available right now at wagertalk.com. For a limited time, you can get 1 year all sports, all access from any handicapper of your choice for only $99 a month. That includes this guy right here. Why would you be interested in me? Well, I'm coming off a bit of a tough 5% play with the Denver Nuggets in Game 6. You might be thinking to yourself, Denver won Game 6 outright. I had them for the first half plus 2.5. I don't know if you saw how that ended, a 3 at the buzzer to lose by a half a point. But I'm in good spirits. I have a history of cleaning up in the NBA playoffs, particularly in the NBA finals. As always, there's no purchase necessary. You're more than welcome to tune in just for the free picks. The only thing we ask from you is that you take the time to smash that like button, and that will allow me to keep coming out here with the free picks. Let's get into it. Oklahoma City, a 7.5-point favorite. The total has been bet up to 216.5 after opening around 213, 214. So the betting public likes the over here. I'm not going to focus on the total. I'm going to focus on the side. In the opening, I said Oklahoma City went to 7 games with Denver, and the history for that, the history of teams coming off a Game 7 does not bode well in Game 1 just to win the game, let alone to cover a 7.5-point spread as a favorite. Now, some of you might be saying to yourselves that, about 10 days ago, we were talking about this when the Golden State Warriors defeated the Houston Rockets in Game 7, and then they played this very same Minnesota team, and Minnesota laid an egg in Game 1, only to come back and win 4 straight. That is what we call recency bias. We're not going to read into that game because I've been doing this for well over 20 years, and the long-term numbers are pretty clear. We'll go over some of that. Teams off of Game 7 the last 36 years in Game 1 of their next series are 33-55 straight up. They're negative 402 combined points. So that does not bode well as a 7.5-point favorite. You look at the last 20 years, teams coming off of Game 7 in Game 1 in their next series, 16-30-1 against the spread. So pretty clear indication pointing toward taking the points with Minnesota. Also, you look at this Minnesota team last year, they went to 7 games with that same Denver team where you had to play at altitude for 2 games, come back home, go back, play at altitude for Game 5, and you saw them just get crushed following that 7-game series. So Oklahoma City could be a little bit I don't know. I think they're definitely set up for a letdown spot here. And I'm not sure they match up quite as well against Minnesota as they do against some of the other teams they've faced. Minnesota is pretty strong on the boards. Minnesota's obviously pretty strong defensively. They're also athletic. And Oklahoma City likes to force a lot of turnovers, but Minnesota also likes to force turnovers. And Minnesota's also pretty good at protecting the basketball. I like Minnesota here in Game 1, and the difference could very well be their backup center, Naz Reid. I like him to go over 15.5 points and rebounds. Now, he's been pretty quiet in the postseason. Numbers are down, probably a matchup issue. They haven't felt that they've needed him as much. Rudy Gobert has been playing well in the postseason. But you look at Naz Reid, he averaged 14.2 points and 6 rebounds per game in the regular season. Now, these teams played 4 times in the regular season, and they split the regular season series. We're not going to infer too much into that because a lot of the main players weren't involved in all 4 games. But look at Naz Reid's numbers, 22.5 points, 11 rebounds per game in 4 games, averaging 38 minutes a game. So clearly that's not going to be lost by Chris Finch. He's going to be well aware of that. I think Naz Reid plays a bigger role in this series than he did in the previous series. Pretty low number, 15.5 points and rebounds for Naz Reid. And I do like Minnesota to cover the 2.5 games on the series handicap. So we got Minnesota plus the points in game one. Naz Reid over 15.5 points and rebounds. Minnesota on the series handicap. If you like this video, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Got anything to say to me, even if it's nasty? Particularly if it's nasty. Hit me up in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I can.